What's up, everyone? After being gone for over 2 years, Fantasmic is back.
Woohoo! Back and better than ever. Welcome to the Half Day Adventures podcast, everyone. My name's Alex.
And my name's Christian.
And we are here to celebrate the return of Fantasmic to Disney's Hollywood Studios at Walt Disney World Resort.
Heck yeah. Fantasmic officially returns back on the 3rd of November, but we were lucky enough to see it on the 1st of November, and that's why we have the special scoop for you guys.
Yeah, we were lucky to go to a cast preview. I, as the cast member, was able to attend yesterday and bring a couple of guests with. So we were able to see one of the first viewings of the newly updated and revamped Fantasmic, which halted operation right after the pandemic, never returned, and something that I dearly have missed. And I think we could both say it's one of our favorite entertainment offerings on Disney property.
For sure, I love Fantasmic, and they made a couple changes. To me, that's not a lot of changes, but the ones that they did, I was really excited for.
Yeah, I think everyone was really worried because, again, it's just something that people gatekeep is Fantasmic, and Disney. I know we've talked about it in several podcasts before. People hate change, but truly I love Fantasmic, and I was hoping that they wouldn't make too many changes to it because I really do like it how it is. It's sad though to think that the last time that I saw Fantasmic, or that we saw Fantasmic before the parks closed down for the pandemic, would have been the last time that we saw it in its original state. How sad.
Do you remember the last time we saw Fantasmic? Like what day it was?
I don't know. I bet I could go back into my phone and find it though.
Right, yeah.
But they did make some upgrades to the show. Not too many, I think, that really like changed it for the worse. I don't think any, if that. But a lot of the changes that they did make involved the Pocahontas scene.
Correct.
I think they wanted to make it a little bit more politically correct. Sure, I won't go into it, but I think the changes that they did make were good ones.
No, yeah, for sure.
And they still kept Pocahontas in there.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said as well, they also made overall upgrades to the show too, with lighting and effects. So everything just looks fresh, clean, new, a lot brighter, more colorful.
Let's get into it, I guess. It starts again. The clapping. No.
Yeah, walking into the amphitheater definitely gave back all the old feels, tons and tons of people there. Of course, for it being a cast member preview, I think it was a lot more organized because you didn't have the normal average everyday guests going in and waiting for hours for this show,
right,
which I think is going to be interesting. I don't really know what the plan is for that, but I wonder if the first show will fill to capacity fairly soon before the theater opens.
I think it will. Also, hold on real quick. The atmosphere that cast members have is like way better than a usual crowd because, I mean, obviously a lot of people know it. And so when they get really hype about what's going on, it's just overwhelming, really. Just like crowd of screams. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, it was a really good crowd. I mean, the energy was definitely there. But again, this is something that people have been waiting over 2 years to come back. Fantasmic is a pretty big staple with Disney in general, even over in Disneyland. And even that took a while to come back too. But they got theirs back in their park, I think a few months, if not maybe more than a few months before we just did. But theirs is really, really good too. And we can talk kind of comparison toward the end about it. But anyway, the amphitheater full of cast members. They did keep all of the original Disney Mania music. So if you know, you know. A Dream is a Wish Your Heart Makes by all of the Disney Channel original cast. Throwback. When I mentioned it to you, you didn't even know what Disney Mania was.
I didn't understand what you were saying.
How dare you?
I know what it is after listening to it, but I didn't know what you were referencing. But yeah, I
was worried that they were going to change that. But that is the music that you listen to as you enter the amphitheater and you listen and wait and sing to while you wait for the show to start.
Oh, I know. Oh my God, the cast members sing.
And they sang. Also, the traditional wave. I always used to say that was one of the things that I couldn't stand that people did during Fantasmic.
It's funny every time.
It is funny, but it's, I don't know. Every time. Like, you couldn't fail without going to a Fantasmic show without them doing the wave several times in the crowd.
Well, the cast members started, I'm pretty sure.
I feel like it's tradition at this point. But before the show started, they did make mention that, again, cast members were invited to be among some of the first people to see the show. So I think that was really great. And I do appreciate that. It's always nice when they do fun things for the cast. And it was even nicer that I was able to bring you and other cast members were able to bring non-cast members to the show. And they did not say that pictures and video and recording was not allowed.
So I recorded the entire
we recorded the whole show, but that's pretty rare for a preview too. But Like I said,
it's because it's so close, 2 days before they open up.
I mean, I'm sure
think
it's going to
okay.
leak. I'm pretty sure that Disney posted things even beforehand, like before last night's showing, like images of the new characters and things like that, which, spoiler, we will be talking about it. So if you haven't seen Fantasmic already, you only have a couple more days till it's officially out for everybody. There is another cast member preview tonight, November 2nd. But before the show started, they did say that it has almost been 24 years to the date when Fantasmic did debut at Disney's MGM Studios. That was on October 15th, 1998.
Wow, that's really close.
Yeah, I actually wonder how old I was when I first saw Fantasmic, because that is one of the things I could vividly remember doing on one of my first trips to Disney.
I couldn't tell you. Probably the first time I watched it. I mean, okay, I can't be a fake fan if I'm a fan. That doesn't make any sense. Just because I didn't watch it the same time that you did.
Okay.
Anybody can be a fan of whatever, but no, I probably didn't.
Be a fake fan.
Okay.
Oh, one of the things that they did change right off the bat, too, when you're walking into the Hollywood Hills Amphitheater, was the sign out front of Fantasmic.
It's brand new.
It's brand new.
It's really cool.
It pays tribute, I think, to Fantasia.
I think the whole show pays tribute to Fantasia.
Yeah, but the sign is more so like the artwork of Fantasia with Sorcerer Mickey. Look it up. It's really cool. Check out our TikTok if you want to see more of that sign.
Right, yeah. Something I really like about posting on TikTok is that you get a lot of opinions.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, they can be good. Sometimes they can be bad. But a lot of people I know are like, so what are the big changes? It's not really a big changes. I think they were mainly done because of the pandemic, and then they used that as their advantage to put a little more things in there, right?
Yeah. I mean, in general, again, we're talking about Fantasmic being over 25 years old.
25 or 15?
No, they said it was 24 years old.
Oh,
so
okay.
Next year should be 25.
Oh, okay, cool.
But I think the show, like I said, I love it. It's perfect. I cry at the end every time. But everything needs a little bit of a polishing up and a facelift. And I think Fantasmic could use that. I mean, talking about Disneyland's Fantasmic, that changed a couple times from the first time that we ever saw it. And then after we saw it, it even changed a few times. And I think all the changes were great.
Yeah, no, I love it. I'm saying I that's something about Fantasmic. I don't know. It's just, it always hits home.
I mean, I think one of the big things with Fantasmic is just the technology that we get throughout the years. They apply it to the show and it's better. I mean, you can't have out of date lighting in a show that depends on lighting. Yeah.
And that was actually one of the comments on our TikTok too, being the projection mapping, which they didn't apply. But
no, it was there. Honestly, it was there. Whereas in the old show, it wasn't. Maybe not in the videos we posted, but there was more projection mapping. They still use the water screens.
No, yeah, the water screens. I don't know. They updated that before they even COVID hit, the projection screens. But I mean, yeah, the water screens. But the projection mapping, sure, I guess there was a little bit, but it wasn't really
it's
insane.
Not projection mapping that they do on the castle.
I was going to say, yeah, like the castle.
But they put some stuff on the mountain. Another thing too, a little fun fact before we go into more of what happened during the show, was originally Fantasmic was inspired by the electrical water pageant that they do on the Seven Seas Lagoon at Magic Kingdom.
I did not know that.
Did you know?
No, I did not. Reason
that they did that is because that debuted when Magic Kingdom opened. Obviously, it's still an opening day attraction, if you will. And executives loved it, and they wanted to bring something like that over to Disneyland. Because with Disneyland, as you may know, that they have their fireworks, and fireworks get canceled nightly because of wind. So they wanted something that they might be able to do with lights, and maybe something that they could do on the water at Disneyland that wouldn't risk getting canceled night after night because of high winds in California. So they brought Fantasmic to Disneyland. So that's where it originally started. And then it came here to Walt Disney World, and here we are today with multiple iterations of Fantasmic all over the world.
Correct, right.
We talked about what happens in the amphitheater is still fairly the same. We talked about the wave that we'll never get rid of. And as soon as the show started and the lights go down and the music starts playing, the inevitable slow clap started too. If that didn't happen, I would have been really upset.
Well, the whole thing too is I feel like that slow clap started way too early.
No, I wanted to start it, but people weren't doing it.
Not slow enough. And then it just kind of ramped up real quick. Everybody was clapping.
They got too excited. But the second that, that fanfare plays and Mickey Mouse hops on stage.
Amazing moment.
The crowd went absolutely nuts.
I was going nuts. That was great.
I was too, but it was so good. And we were joking that the people sitting behind us, like they had a good time, no doubt. And they made it a fun show, like definitely high energy. But even just where we were sitting in that amphitheater, which is massive, by the way, it can hold thousands and thousands and thousands of people. But I think it was like one of their first times probably seeing the show.
And that's what I'm saying. For me, it's really funny because I was thinking about it. I was like, these cast members didn't see it. I thought they were joking at first because the way they were talking, there was like, oh, something's happening. Oh, something's happening. And I was like, have you guys never seen the show? But then, we went with Alan and Jana, and they were saying, yeah, I believe a lot of people haven't seen it yet. So I was like, ugh.
It's quite possible if you're like on the Disney College program and maybe that is the first time you've seen it. You've never been to Disney. I mean, it was everybody's first time seeing the new one,
right?
But it was even like the things that have been there for years and years. Mm-hmm. They were like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But yeah, right off the bat, I mean, the show started as normal. Everything was pretty much the same. Like I said, lights and characters were still about the same. Mm-hmm. Also, I guess, spoiler alert, warning, from this point on, we're going to be talking about things that happened in the show. So if you didn't see it and you don't want to listen, you can skip to the end. Or if you just can't contain your excitement and maybe you're not getting to Disney for a while, keep on listening. Because one of the first things I think that I thought was going to change was the Lion King scene.
Okay.
So that's like where the light goes down after like a lot of the projection mapping or the water screens. And that was all the same characters. I don't think they added anything new to that. As soon as that is done, they turn all the lights back up, and all of a sudden, all of these Lion King characters, jungle animals, are up on the stage.
Oh, yeah, there's neon black light.
Yes, and they were very vibrant. So that was an upgrade I think that they made because I remember being darker.
For sure. Yeah, no, those animals up there were neon.
Yeah, they looked really, really good. They also added something up to the top, like when they put like lights and like fog, like lasers, and like kind of looks like water on the top. I feel like they added that too. So there's just a lot more lightness, brightness going on, colorful scenery, and that looked really good. And then a big part of that scene are the barges, the 3 barges that come out
with the monkeys.
Yeah, multiple times in the show they use the barges, but that one they use the monkeys. And one of the big changes that they made was on the middle barge used to be Rafiki.
Right, and that's what I was going to ask you right now.
What?
Where he was.
He was on the stage.
And I didn't see that because
you did not see.
I was watching. I was literally trying to film everything. And I'm over here like, oh, there's a stage up there with a bunch of animals. And I went to the right. And I'm like, there's the monkeys.
No,
there's some more monkeys. I wasn't looking up.
Rafiki was on stage dancing. So he's a main character now.
Oh, great,
he always was, but he was on stage. And so now just the dancing monkeys were on the boats going by. And of course, people were cheering for them. Very high energy. It was really, really good.
Yeah, the people behind me yelled Rafiki, but I didn't know where he was.
I'll have to go back and watch your video.
And I was like, where?
Where is he? No, he was on the stage. So that was one of the big parts that remained the same, just looked better. And then everything leading up until the next point where Monstro takes over. And then after Monstro, which is the whale from Pinocchio, the next scene that should have happened after that, you hear the big cannon.
Oh, dude. And I have like mixed feelings of the cannon because I literally was clenching the entire time waiting for the cannon to go off.
If the cannon going off and the big bang scared you, you do not have to worry about it anymore because it does not exist.
I'm kind of sad. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I always clenched. I was ready for it, and now they don't have it.
Well, it's not there anymore. But that part set off the next scene, which was the Pocahontas John Smith scene with the Indians.
Right.
Native Americans. That's one of the parts that they do not have anymore. And that there was always rumor that they were going to be changing while Fantasmic was dark or was not performing. Mm-hmm. So in that scene, it was a big fight with, I don't know. I mean, I'd seen Pocahontas. I don't remember necessarily. I guess like the soldiers
and the Native Americans. Yep.
And then there was like the guy, the main, like maybe Indian chief.
I don't remember.
Yeah, and he was like dancing up on the rocks, and then like all of the Native American Indians. Yeah, they were coming by in the canoes. Like, so that was a part too, like a feature that they would come by in the canoes. So I liked that part. I thought it was neat. It was very high energy.
No, yeah, a lot.
But that all does not exist.
Guns going on.
Guns. Yeah, it was a really cool scene. But all of that they got rid of.
And now they just show Pocahontas.
Yes, instead they just show Pocahontas. She's up on the top of the mountain, kind of like that scene how it ended. That's almost how this one starts. So this enters into the heroes portion now of Fantasmic.
Right.
And so we have some new heroes.
The new hero section is amazing. I thought it was great.
Yeah. So we still get Pocahontas that kind of like is like a tribute to her. I'm glad they didn't get rid of her.
For sure, yeah.
But she does a little segment to Just Around the River Bend, Colors of the Wind. It was nice. I like Pocahontas.
Right.
But who was the next one that they put up there?
Mulan. Oh my god, dude, Mulan section when it came up, and I was like, oh my god, because it was literally so
Everyone
good.
really liked the Mulan section.
one. Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite parts now of Fantasmic, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I loved Fantasmic before, and now it's just like, I don't know. I like it a lot better now too.
Yeah, it was really neat. They played "I'll Make a Man Out of You," and it was like a little like combat
fighting scene.
moment.
Yeah. Amazing.
Good use of pyro. Everything was like lit up red.
Yep.
It was really good because she doesn't really get the appreciation.
Right. Yeah.
That she
and there
should
was
have.
some things on the wait. Was there something on the mountain, like a dragon or something?
There probably was. I would have to go back and watch it. I can't wait to go back and see it again.
Yeah, we're gonna watch it again this week.
I feel like there was more to see, like just more lighting and more effects. I mean, maybe that scene could have used some more like actors in it, but maybe not because all the focus was still on Mulan.
Yeah, but if they like put her in a nice costume or something,
yeah,
and make her some type of lead. I mean, she's the lead, but I'm saying like some more background characters. Yeah, but either way, the scene that we saw was amazing. Still, I liked it.
Yeah, it was really good. And like I said, the people behind us, the whole crowd, like going
crazy,
absolutely feral,
absolutely bonkers. Yeah, it was great.
Very neat.
Yeah. After that was
I think it was Aladdin.
It was Aladdin, yep.
And that one is really cool too. Now the Disneyland version kind of has an Aladdin moment. It's more so like in the princess scene with Aladdin and Jasmine. They're on the carpet.
Really?
You don't remember?
I don't remember. No, I do not.
They're literally on the carpet and like there's like the fog and it looks like the clouds. I thought we were going to get something like that, but we did not. But we got Aladdin more so just like a tribute to him and like him.
Opening scenes.
Yeah, the opening scene.
Yeah.
The music that played with that one was One Jump Ahead. And that one did have a few more actors in it. It was kind of, I think, the most similar to the old Pocahontas scene.
Right, where like you have like the security, what are they called? Guards.
Probably like guards.
Yeah, like chasing him around town, trying to grab him.
Yeah, and he even like swung across the mountain a couple times like
Just
John
like,
Smith
yep,
did. So that was really neat. I think there could have been more, like maybe some more action in that one.
Right. Oh, he's really pretty much just on top of the mountain the entire time, and then he jumps across, and that's it. The guards at the bottom are the ones like trying to chase him around.
Yeah, maybe they needed more of them. I don't know. That one was cool. And then we moved over to
Elsa.
Yeah. That was one of the ones that Disney, actually a few of these Disney did tease, like when Fantastic was coming back and they made the announcement. They did say that they were going to have a moment. I had it like saved on my phone.
Okay.
But basically it said there was going to be like a never before seen segment with Aladdin, as well as Frozen. Even like in the concept art, not the concept art, but like the promotional art, you could see what were they? Like the little diamonds. Were they
Snowflake
runes?
things, sure.
I don't know. Remember like from Frozen 2?
Yeah.
And like they each were like an element. So people kind of alluded to the things that were happening, but I don't know where I put it. But we knew we were going to get an Aladdin scene. I think we knew that we were going to get maybe we knew we were going to get all these characters. I don't remember.
Okay.
But Elsa, really, really cool. Hers was themed off of Frozen 2 with the show yourself part.
Right.
Where she's like inside of, what is it called?
Cavern?
Northuldra?
Oh, I don't know.
You know, she like runs across the water on the water horse.
Oh, the water horse?
And then goes.
The water horse's name or what?
No, that was called the Knock.
Oh, okay. But Elsa also did like a change in the middle of the show, right?
Did she?
I thought so. I thought that's why everyone got hyped. Again, like I was like recording everything. There was like water scenes going off too. And so I was like, what's going on? But I think at one point she was just wearing like regular blue, like maybe something darker. And then she like changed or something and was wearing her regular light blue dress or something like that.
Maybe she did. I think I was actually thinking that after that scene, but I couldn't tell.
Because like there was a moment before like it ended that everyone was super hyped. They were like, oh, and I was like, what happened? I wasn't paying attention.
I'll have to go back and watch the video, but maybe that did happen. But after that scene, and everybody loves Frozen, so I'm glad they added that in, but it wasn't overwhelming to where like Frozen took over the whole show. The last segment had Moana, which right off the bat for the Moana scene, they made use of all of the water jets and fountains, lots of blue, green color, and they started playing the I Am Moana song.
Right.
I am Moana.
Nice.
Well, she sang it better. But she started her song and then she was kind of like climbing up or like over the water. So you can tell like she was interacting with the water.
Right.
And then it all led up to the big moment.
Where she pulls out the heart of
No, what does she do before that?
Te-Fiti. What?
She literally walks on the water.
Oh, right.
Oh my gosh. So she hops over the water jet and like
splish splashes around in the water.
It looks like she's like walking on top of the water, which was really neat. Which, fun fact, there was supposed to be a portion in the original Fantasmic or whatever Fantasmic where Mickey walks on water.
Why would he walk on water?
I don't know. There was like part, I think, of the track that's called like Mickey Walks on Water or something.
Oh, funny.
So if that's true, it's kind of fun that like now Moana walks on water.
Right.
But
then she runs out to the other side of the stage and gets the heart of Te-Fiti.
Yeah, she pulls out the green heart of Te-Fiti, and that's like the end of her scene. Her grandma.
And the end of the hero section, right?
Yeah, like the end of the heroes, like end of her scene, end of the hero segment.
But what happened to her grandma?
Well, her grandma dies in the movie and turns into the manta ray.
Right. And
they like projection mapped like the manta ray going across the whole screens of water.
What? I didn't see that.
Oh my gosh.
I ate my grandma.
Okay.
That was a tribute
what
to
was
that.
His name?
The crab?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Golden crab.
No, what was his name? Oh my gosh. I don't remember it now. Okay,
after all the heroes are done, then it comes the princess section, right? Where they're dancing on the, what are they called again?
The barges.
The barges, right? And it starts off with sleeping. Sorry, I lied.
Oh my. No, it
Beauty
does
and the
not.
Beast.
Belle and Beast.
Beauty and the Beast, exactly the same thing what I said. Then after that, it's Ariel and Philip, right? That's his name?
No, Prince Eric. Oh my God.
Right.
He was just saying that the princess part was one of his favorites, and so far has named
songs.
everyone wrong so far.
And then you have Snow White.
And what's her princess name?
Philip.
What's basically everything you've been talking about is Sleeping Beauty and Prince Philip, who are not even in the show.
Who's Philip's Aurora, right?
Yeah, Sleeping Beauty. Oh,
what am I? Snow White. Oh my God.
Snow White just has the prince.
Snow White and the Prince. Okay, sure.
Oh my God.
What have I been saying this entire time?
I don't know.
Jesus. Okay, but anyways, yeah, that part when they're out there in the barges is amazing.
Yeah, that's a nice part. But they didn't change any of the princesses, which was nice. Disneyland got new princesses when they debuted theirs.
What did they get? Sleeping Beauty?
No, I don't know actually. No, I know they got.
Actually, they do have Sleeping Beauty.
Do they?
I think so.
I don't know. I only remember that they have Rapunzel and they got Aladdin and Jasmine.
Okay.
But after that, then we went into the villain scenes, which all pretty much again remained unchanged. We still had the evil queen that turns into the old hag from Snow White.
Right.
Lots of the. I don't think they added any villains. I thought I read or someone said somewhere like already on like. Maybe it was Instagram or something that they added new villains. I don't remember.
It was the regular Cruella de Vil. Then it was
I don't know the order, but
it's Cruella, Octopus Lady, I forgot her name.
Ursula,
sorry. Then you got Simba's brother. Wow, what's going on with you right now?
Okay, Simba doesn't have a brother.
Sorry. Simba's dad's brother. Yeah, Mufasa.
So Scar. All of that to say Scar. Oh my God. Ridiculous. Scar, Frollo, Hades, Chernabog. Fun fact, one time I was working and there was a family that came in that said that they were absolutely disgusted with the fact that Disney was showing Fantasmic because it was very scary and demonic for children because there were villains and Chernabog was the devil. Which
just the villains? I was going to say, yeah. No, that part where like the skulls are all running towards the screen.
I like that part.
Scariest part right there.
That part's cool.
Okay, and then after that scene, what happens?
I mean, that pretty much leads up to the point where you see, There's the part with Jafar with the snake.
Okay.
So that is still part of the show, except for his eyes weren't working.
Right. But some people posted some pictures that his eyes were working.
Well, I don't know what.
And that was a false report. It might be working. I mean, in the future shows.
Either that was a real photo and we didn't get the first show, or they were pulling old photos from old shows.
I think it's an old photo for old shows because I did not. I mean, unless I did have another show.
It's quite possible. But for our show, Jafar's eyes weren't working. They have the giant snake that have like all the performers as like a piece of his body. Mm-hmm. So it looks really neat. And the fun part about that was that the eyes light up and they like shine into the crowd.
Laser beam my eyeballs.
And it like blinds you. Yeah. But that didn't happen last night. Which brings us to Mickey's final battle of the show, where he faces the main villain, Maleficent.
Right. The final boss.
From your favorite movies, Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Maleficent is our final boss, if you will.
She's in Sleeping Beauty?
Yes.
I thought she was in Snow White.
Oh my goodness.
As a joke. I get it. No,
I don't think it was a joke. But Mickey wears his brave little tailor costume to go up against Maleficent. And the big part about this is that Maleficent is seen first in like her human form and then evolves into her dragon form, which is a big part of the Fantasmic show is the dragon puppet.
And it's the same as it was before we left, right?
Yeah, nothing changed with the dragon. It looks the same. I know that a lot of people were hoping that the dragon did get an upgrade and that did look better because our dragon here in Walt Disney World looks a lot different from the dragon over in Disneyland.
But unfortunately, it didn't get an upgrade at all. It looks the same.
Mm-hmm. Disneyland is more of like a full body animatronic, I think is what it is. Whereas ours is just the head with the wings and there's someone that actually controls the wings. But I think both dragons on both coasts face their fair amounts of technical difficulties, which sometimes ends up either canceling the show or more so the end of the show. But no, we've
never been in that situation where they stopped the show, right?
For the dragon over here? Mm-hmm. I don't think so. But in Disneyland, I think the dragon didn't work because the dragon comes out of the stage.
Oh, but you're saying they won't bring it out if it's having technical difficulties.
Yeah, if it's not going to work, I don't think they bring it out.
Okay, I thought you said they were going to cancel the show
and it doesn't move
in the middle of it.
I mean, I guess they don't, but they cancel the show for things if the water projectors aren't working halfway through. Okay. I think I did that one time. I don't know if I did that with Tara and Andrew or who I did that with, where we started watching the show and it was right up into the beginning with the first projection screens and they weren't working, so they canceled the whole show.
Wow.
A taste of Fantasmic.
Then after Mickey defeats Maleficent,
he shoots her with a firebolt out of his sword.
Yep.
Then everything is better again and all the villains go away and the Nightmare Fantasmic turns out with a happy ending, which the end of the show completes with
all of the characters in a boat. Steamboat Willie.
You seem unsure of that.
No, that's Steamboat Willie.
Yeah, the giant character Steamboat comes out, driven by Steamboat Willie, black and white version himself, with all of the characters that brought the show together.
Right.
With all their little dancing streamers, and everybody cheers, and that's the part that everyone starts to get all teary-eyed because it's all happy and nostalgic.
I don't get teary-eyed till the very end.
Okay, I'm sure. Have you ever seen them put the bag over Ariel's head?
I noticed it once. And after that, I'm like, you guys are ruining the magic. Stop doing that.
She can't get up and walk away. Ariel's wearing a fin.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that they're doing wrong. I'm saying everyone that points it out.
If you don't know what we're talking about, there's a very infamous part of the show called Bagging the Fish, where if you're familiar with the show or if you watch a video, yes, Bag the Fish, where the steamboat pulls around the backside of the mountain. And as it's doing this is when Mickey, Sorcerer Mickey, ends up at the top of the mountain and all of the fireworks and pyro go off.
Right.
So the characters that were on the steamboat, they have to go back inside to protect themselves from the firework fallout. But because Ariel, who is sitting with her fin on the back of the boat, obviously cannot walk, she doesn't have anywhere to go. So Prince Eric, not Prince Philip, puts a bag over her head that is flame.
Okay, don't say it like that.
What?
Put a bag over her head.
They literally put a bag over her head, her whole body.
Her whole body, right.
Okay.
Why do you say bag over her head? What are they doing there?
Look it up. That's what happens. It's like a flame retardant bag that keeps her safe, and she just sits there. And if you sit on the far side of the theater, you can see it happen. It's actually pretty funny.
It is funny.
But the very, very ending, Mickey's up on the very top of this 50-foot tall mountain. All the fireworks are going off. It's the finale of the show. Best part of the show. I cry every time.
That's what I'm saying. This is when I get teary-eyed or cry.
I had to wear waterproof mascara the other night. I didn't cry as much as I wanted to, but I really thought I was going to.
I think it's because you were too excited about everything else.
I think it was. And of course, everybody was screaming. I think the people behind us could have screamed even louder, but truly, I think they lost their voice at the end of it, after Moana, honestly. But all of that concludes with Mickey, who was on the top of the stage,
showing up at the bottom somehow.
Magically.
Magic. Yep.
Disney magic.
And he said, some imagination, huh? Yep.
Fireworks. Pyro.
Fireworks. Everything going off.
Beautiful. And
amazing. How do you do that? Oh, and then he disappears.
And then he disappears. It's magic. But then at the end of every Fantasmic show, this is when everybody gets up and stampedes out of the theater like a bunch of maniacs.
You know what? Even you guys are cast members and you guys still don't know how to get out of there.
No, I was going to say that didn't happen this time. What? I mean, it did, but everyone did a standing ovation for the show.
Yeah, you're right. No, everyone did do a standing ovation. That was really good.
And then everybody left. But it was not the mass chaos that it usually is, with people running through the aisles.
Well, you guys weren't moving.
Because everybody wanted to enjoy it.
There.
I wanted an encore.
Okay.
But it was great. I'm glad with any changes they did make. I am not disapproving of anything that happened in that show, except for the snake's eyes not working.
Right. Speaking of the snakes, I forgot to say that, but there was like projection on the mountain with like lava and stuff during that scene. That was pretty cool. Like they have some pretty good stuff on there.
So I'm saying they added just things that made it even better.
They're subtle, but yeah.
Subtle differences.
But they're nice.
Mm-hmm. But would you say that this is still your favorite version of Fantasmic, or do you still like, or did you ever like Disneyland's more? That's always the current debate. Yeah. I think they're both very different.
A lot of people love Disneyland.
Disneyland's is very good.
Yeah, it's really good. Some parts for me just doesn't do it like Hollywood Studios does it.
So for me, the big part that I don't think that Disneyland has over us is that our mountain is bigger. And I think it just leaves it's just a lot more grand. Mm-hmm. Whereas Disneyland does their Fantasmic on Tom Sawyer's Island in the Rivers of America. So they don't even have a big amphitheater. You just sit on the ground and you stand around that area by New Orleans Square, by Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean, like that area.
Which I think hinders it because, again...
Yeah, I mean, it's not enjoyable to wait in, so I do like going into the actual theater better, but ours is on a grander scale, but then I feel like at Disneyland, they use like grander props, if that's the word.
For instance?
Like their dragon, I think, is neater. Mm-hmm. I think that they use the pirate ship. They use the sailing ship Columbia.
Is really good, yeah.
And that's a huge ship. And they also use the Mark Twain.
They got Peter Pan in there and all that stuff.
No, they don't have Peter Pan anymore.
No, that Pirates of the Caribbean.
They have Pirates of the Caribbean, right. And it's a really, really cool part. Look that up on YouTube if you have never seen the Disneyland version of Fantasmic, because it is really good. I don't know. See, now saying these things, I'm like, is Disneyland's better?
No, I still think this one's better. But I think this version is a lot better now. To be honest, I think this is still my favorite version over here.
But also, like, nothing beats the ending at Disneyland's 2. It's still the same ending where they have the steamboat with Steamboat Willie driving it, but they use their actual riverboat. Like I was saying, they use the Mark Twain. That's like an actual real boat with plenty of room. It just looks a lot nicer. And if you put that next to ours, like our riverboat looks like a cardboard cutout.
Oh, I haven't really noticed it like that.
I don't know. They both have their pros and their cons, but it's nice that they're both different so that when you see both shows, there are things that set them aside from each other.
Right.
But I can't wait to go back and see it again.
Wait, I think. But which was your favorite?
Oh, I don't know. I would probably pick Walt Disney World. That's the one I grew up with.
You're talking all this stuff about
Disneyland. But Disneyland's is so good too. I can't pick a favorite. That's my part.
I'm picking I don't Hollywood Studios. Fantasmic is better.
I love them both. I just love Fantasmic. I just love Sorcerer Mickey.
You're right. Sorcerer Mickey is literally the best.
That's the thing, though. There's just something about the Walt Disney World version where you see Sorcerer Mickey at the very top of the mountain.
Does a magic trick, ends up in the bottom, and then does another magic trick right after that and disappears. Amazing.
At Disneyland, it's just on a smaller scale. There is no mountain. He stands on top of a shack. When you say it like that, it sounds ridiculous. But like I said, I can't wait to see it again. We are probably going to go this weekend.
We are.
You filmed the whole show.
I really did. My arm was literally shaking at the end of it.
Yeah, I want to just watch it without filming and like, I mean,
Enjoy
I did
it.
this time, but I just want to enjoy it again.
You did. I didn't. I'm gonna enjoy it this time for
I'm
sure.
excited
And
to
look at
see it.
everything that I didn't see. Rafiki. And who else didn't I see? Someone said something else. Oh, make sure Elsa did a costume change.
I got my eye on you, Elsa.
Yeah. But definitely go out, see it for yourself when it comes out November 3rd.
November 3rd. I believe that there's going to be a few weeks where there are 2 showings a night, but generally Fantasmic is only a 1 show a night type of gig. I don't know if there's going to be a lightning lane for it. So if you're using Genie Plus.
But before they used to have a fast pass for it, right?
Yeah, they did. But I think a lot of rumor is, are they going to like have this be a separate purchase of a lightning lane, or is it like regular Genie Plus where it's included? Also, I mean, I was saying, I think I said it already at the beginning, like I wonder if the show is going to fill to capacity the first few nights and people are going to be lining up.
I think for sure it will.
Well, I better get on Saturday. It shouldn't be an issue.
Right.
Also, the dining package is back too. I think that would be fun if you go and have a dinner at night and you get the Fantasmic dining package where you get, I don't want to say VIP seating. You just get to sit in a separate area, maybe better seats, but we're getting back to normal. This is one of the things that Disney hasn't had return. And I think it's honestly one of the last things that Disney was waiting to bring back to the parks. So I'm glad it's back.
Me too.
I'm glad we have it. And now that gives us even more reason to go to Disney's Hollywood Studios at night, because that at night, I always thought that was the superior at night park.
For sure. Yeah, I agree.
And without Fantasmic, it was really lacking.
It was, but we're back. So.
But thank you so much for listening, and I hope you too get to see Fantasmic. If not, definitely take a look at some videos. We just posted some of the new hero segments, spoilers, on our TikTok. So
Half Day Adventures.
Yes, Half Day Adventures podcast.
Follow that.
Oops. Follow that too. But the Half Day Adventures TikTok, follow that.
And then our Instagram as well as Half Day Adventures.
Follow us everywhere.
Instagram, TikTok, Half Day Adventures. Our podcast, if you listen to it, you already know what it is. Our email. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little sick over here from screaming yesterday.
Oh my God.
No, our email is hdapodcast@outlook.com.
Give us an email. Let us know if you want to hear. Send us an email if you want to hear us talk about something on the podcast, or if there's something that you want us to go out and see in the parks here in Orlando.
Right, for sure.
We have some exciting content and exciting podcasts planned for the future. Thanks for bearing with us the last few weeks. They have not been coming out as scheduled. We've had pretty busy.
Yeah.
But the holidays, they've already started, so that's a sneak peek into what we'll be talking about next week.
Right.
Are all of the holiday happenings and events coming to the Orlando area with its theme parks.
Yep.
But until then, thank you so much for listening.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.